I want to introduce someone who is not only my boss, but we are very lucky at eBay to have him. He comes with decades of disciplined software leadership. He's been an incredible mentor to me and really made my last year at eBay very special. Here to talk to you about the future of eBay technology is eBay's Chief Architect, SanjeevKatariya.
You know what, folks? A round of applause for Gail. This has been a journey. This has been a journey. And this journey has been defined by Gail and the eBay teams to really change how we have been doing business for a while. We have been investing ourselves. I had rehearsed a whole bunch of other things, but I'm going to speak from my heart. We have really invested our time and our energy into this platform in order to give you guys this developer API ecosystem. It is a real reboot from the very core of eBay. So, here we go. Now I'm going to tell you a collective story, a story that connects you with me and with eBay. Big ideas start small. We're all developers. I'm a developer. We're all developers. But they start small. So I'm going to tell you a story that I'm sure everybody knows. Started around about 1995. 1995, this guy, Pierre, had a dream. And the dream was, I want to sell some stuff, and I cannot figure out how to sell it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit down and write some software, something that all of us do today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take stuff that I have, and Pierre decided out of the things that he had, he was going to sell a broken laser pointer for $1. $1. $1. When he does that, he's surprised. He's surprised. Why? Now, this is the global part of the story. Somewhere up in Canada, a guy by the name of Mark decides, you know what? I want that laser pointer, that broken laser pointer. Broken laser pointer? Really? But I'm going to fix it up. And it's an amazing story. But you know what? Who better to tell this story than Mark himself? So, let's roll it.
Hi Pierre, hi Devin. My name is Mark Fraser, and I've got a story for you. Back in about 1995, I was on the road doing quite a lot of presentations, and I'd seen a couple of laser pointers, and I thought, boy, I want one of those. They cost something over $100, and I couldn't afford one. My boss certainly wasn't going to go for it, but I'm an electronics geek, so I thought I'd build one. So I acquired a laser diode from one of our electronic suppliers and went about designing a circuit to make it work. Then I discovered that they put out a conical diverging beam, and this just wasn't going to work. Somebody pointed me at a brand new website, which turned out to be eBay, and I was amazed to discover a broken laser pointer that was listed. And I thought, hey, I can probably make that work. I have to say, that was only the beginning of a long eBay career, which is still going on to this day. I'm still acquiring things. I'm quite proud of my 2,000 plus purchases and my 100% positive feedback on eBay. Last week, eBay's 20th anniversary celebrations were all over the TV news, and again, mention of the broken laser pointer came up. I was a little bit offended when they sort of dissed the buyer of a broken laser pointer, stating people will buy anything. I'm just really, really grateful that eBay is there. It's allowed me to indulge myself in collectibles, but most importantly, in hobbies that have been quite a lot of value to me, and that includes the wonderful cappuccino maker that makes us coffee in the morning. I still have the broken laser pointer. Because it doesn't work, it isn't really of any value to me anymore. Perhaps an important piece of eBay history that's going to mean more to eBay than it does to me.
Wow. Round of applause. Round of applause. That broken laser pointer is right outside, so you should stop by and take a look at it. So, 1995, I was with Microsoft at that point, and I was a young one. And I, too, had an idea. So there were 4 of us who got together in a room, must have been 10 o'clock at night, and we thought, you know what, there's this search engine out there, 1995, there's this search engine out there called Alta Vista. Who's heard of Alta Vista? You know what? I'm with my folks. I'm with my folks. Alta Vista. And it had indexed, hold on, 1 million URLs. So I thought, you know what? We can do it too. And Alta Vista was using its own hardware, and the 4 of us said, let's build a search engine. None of us had any idea how to do it, or how to document, what APIs, what systems. So we set ourselves 10 o'clock at night and started to write some software. I worked on the crawler and the indexer, and we started writing the software. Now, what caused me to do that? The idea was, remember, I was young, and I was interested in a couple of queries that I wanted answers for. I'm not going to tell you what those queries were, because I was young back then. But I'll tell you the query, I'll expose the query that I was interested in. I didn't know how to build a search engine. I had no idea. So how was I going to do this? So after crawling the web, that's the first question I asked. How do you build a search engine? Developer documentation. Is there any code out there? Are there any algorithms I can use out there? How am I going to go about doing that? And back then, there wasn't that information. But that small idea, back in 1995, got the entire industry going. Now, I'm going to fast forward. Many eons later, I'm not going to expose my age. Many eons later, 32 patents later, you know what's the core still within me? I love creating. I love building. I am an engineer and a developer at heart, much like all of you. And that's what powers me till this day. When I came and I joined eBay, I saw this as one of the biggest opportunities to bring an e-commerce marketplace developer platform to the world. And I said, what a dream job. And that's what got me going, because coding is in our DNA. It literally is. So if you examine chromosome 22 and 21, you'll find a little nitrogen base pair that says, you love to code. But it's part of our DNA. And when I look upon all of you as my fellow developers, you are our lifeblood. I've built platforms over the course of my career. And a platform is only as successful as the number of applications that are built on top of it. And that's the core. We are a developer community. That's how we do stuff. That's how we advance things, and we do it together. There is no point in eBay going off and building a platform if it doesn't work for you. And that is our focus, you. So, you've been partnering with us for all this time. And I told you, this is a reboot of a program with our heart and soul into this. But let's take a step back and ask ourselves, Why should you partner with us? The first thing is, you are going to go out, you are going to innovate, you are going to gain mind share and customers, and you're going to bring revenue streams that we could possibly never have imagined. So that's the first one. What's the second? You realize that e-commerce in eBay is a global thing. When you build applications, when you write software, when you integrate with our APIs, you reach out to a global audience. Mark, just in the very beginning, was from Canada. Now imagine the entire globe is available to you, with all of humanity wanting to trade on the things and experiences that you build. Second, third, by doing what you do, eBay evangelized, eBay put out eBay.com and our mobile application, but you can take our experiences to the next level, things that we cannot even dream of. Those are things that you can do, you can innovate, and you can tell us what to build next, and this is a partnership. And doing this together, we together are going to define what is the future of e-commerce. So, with that in mind, that this is a collective effort, what kind of tech do we have? What kind of things can we give you? The first thing starts with a catalog. We have over 1 billion items in our catalog and growing. It is endless if we do our jobs right. None of this is going to stop. And all of that spectrum of value is going to be made available to you through your APIs, both the sell flows and the buy flows and the commerce. 1 billion plus. Mobile leadership. What's the other tech that we're investing in? Who's tried the eBay application? Okay. There are things I am sure we can improve on. But today, it's one of the best rated apps in eBay's history. And, we got the Commerce Award in the top 5 finalists. And it's taken a concerted effort on our part to regain that leadership. So our commitment is strong and relentless to build out a platform that delivers the proper ecosystem to you. And we are going to continue doing that. So, API first vision. Like I said, we've been investing for quite a while. So we're unlocking our innovation. It takes a while to build up a platform, a marketplace platform. And in doing so, we bring new technologies to play. And I'm going to expose what are those new technologies that you, in integrating with our APIs, are going to be able to experience. So, you've gone through several days of very powerful, and today we're going to cover the buy APIs, but you have experienced new buy, new sell, and commerce APIs in Flow. What's key? They're RESTful. Who wants to work on SOAP? Oh, no hands. Okay. RESTful. Future-proof. So ask me a question. How is this future-proof? You know what? When you bring a platform and its API ecosystem up to modern-day technologies, and you have JSON that you can interact with and actually can understand, and you can go to a developer portal that makes sense to you, where you can register your app IDs, and you can evolve it because you actually have a channel between us and you, that's how you future-proof APIs, and you bring it into the modern era. And we have done exactly that. So that's the first starting point. But we know it's a journey. And the way we're going to evolve on this journey is when you give us the feedback. And you tell us, eBay, help us improve this. Now, like I said, I was going to talk about the eBay technologies. I'm one of the guys who is leading the AI strategy across this company. But what does it mean to you? You know, on all of these APIs that you call, like the search API or the browse or the taxonomic APIs, they're all powered by AI. You don't realize it, but it's just right there. Let's take a look at a couple of these things. Structured data. Whenever we shove a listing into our billion-plus listing system, there's a lot of information that flows into our systems. It is humanly impossible to coordinate this at that scale. So what do we rely on? Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Give me a title, give me a description, extract important things from the listings such that whenever you search on that stuff, it shows up. That's where structured data comes in. Whenever a seller says, so what price should I list them at? There's a price prediction system, and it's not easy. We have to figure out who is selling, who is buying, what volume, what is the economic price that people are willing to pay, and then you have to come up with a price prediction. So that's a pretty complicated thing that's made available through the API. Recommendations. Whenever you go to our site, you'll see predictive recommendations, things that pop up, again available to you through our APIs. And these recommendations, and I'll speak a little bit more on how they get more precise over time, really zoom in and tell you what exactly can you expose in your applications, in your software, to your customers. And finally, buy. And we'll talk about that in a lot more greater detail today. But the entire buy flow is powered end to end by machine learning and artificial intelligence, because we have to take a look at trust, risk, identity, what makes sense to the buyer, what is a good relevant search. But that's not it. That's not it. There's more. We're doing a lot of stuff in computer vision and deep learning. And we bring, because we know folks post images into our system. Folks might take photographs. So we use our technologies to literally extract the information from the images and then apply them across the board, from structured data to selling to buying. So it's intrinsically built along with natural language understanding. Because we got to figure out when you type in a title, when you type in a description, what exactly did you mean? So that's the other one. Personalization. So that's another underlying AI technology that says, whenever somebody logs in, do you know who I am? How can I use that who I am to show you better information through the APIs? So the brand of personalization starts to kick in that understands your flows. What are your click-throughs? How do you reflect that in the experiences that you are going to build? All of this lands in personalization, and it's made available in a fashion that is not intrusive. We respect the privacy of people, and that's how we take it forward. Buyer experience, something that if you go to eBay.com today, we've been changing over time, and again, it's available in the buy flows, and we'll talk about it. But the one before did not have that much machine learning. It had machine learning in it, but not to the extent that what is changing over time. And the parts that are changing now have to do with how we aggregate this information. What are the different things that we pull out and make available to our buyers? And it's all embedded in both the search science and how we really put stuff together for people to experience. So, reviews. Everybody knows reviews are important. At the end of the day, they matter because that's how search relevance really plays a role. Is, did people actually like the seller or the buyer or the thing that they listed? All of that factors into the system. But the thing that I want to point out is the reviews themselves are about connections. When somebody buys something from someone, you are connecting with them. You're connecting over an item, and there's conversations that happen. And we have this big giant fish, which is unbelievable, and we have this. We have a puppy on a little tennis ball. That's the spectrum of value, fish or puppy, you know? I mean, tennis ball, really. But the system has to deal with this spectrum. And our consumer base is huge. And you are going to expand on that consumer base because you're going to integrate with our APIs. So, just to put this in perspective, how large is large? Today, Q1, 1.1 billion live listings and growing. It's not stopping. Q1, 20 billion in GMV. And now, since we are a developer audience, I'm going to focus our attention on the other two statistics. The first one, platform GMV, which is touched by mobile. That mobile creation was something that we came up with. What is your creation? What do you want to do with it? Totally up to you, your innovative ideas. And finally, look, we're part of a huge audience, 362K developers who are now going to experience our new APIs. It's a huge community. And as one community, we are all going to work on this together. So, eBay's technology, I covered that. And there's a lot more. I'm not touching right now. We're making investments in cloud and marketplace technologies. I haven't touched on that stuff. But it all surfaces through these APIs. And then there is your innovation. I look to you to partner with us to build out these new experiences that we cannot dream of. And that is going to equal the future of e-commerce. So, with our collective ambition at work, what are a couple of things that we are attempting to achieve at the end? And that is, through our work together, we want to offer up the best choice, you to your customers through your integrated experiences, you to your customers through the most relevant stuff that shows up for them. And we, together, we are going to build the most powerful selling platform. We cannot do it by ourselves. So we're going to look to you. Help us build the most powerful selling platform.